Founders, building in the Middle East.
Well, hi, Sam. We've got another member joining our Golf Founders podcast here, and I'm excited to welcome Tony from Vispire to the Golf Founders podcast, our first ever interview. And I know Sam, you know Tony for some time. It's actually my first time meeting Tony. So, yeah, I'd love to know how you guys met and a little bit more about Tony.
Perfect, perfect. Why don't I start by introducing Tony firstly, and also just to give some context to our listeners. So Tony, he's the owner of Vispire. Vispire is a company formation company. I'll let Tony introduce a little bit further. The reason why we invited Tony onto this podcast today is mainly because they can learn more about setting up a company in the Middle East, whether it's UAE, Oman, Saudi, other, and Tony's going to share all the information for you. So over to Tony. I'll let you do a much better introduction than I did about yourself.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Damien. It's a pleasure to meet you for the first time. Sam, I don't have to say a lot about you. So I just, so I'm the founder of Vispire. I'm originally from Lebanon. I came to Dubai 7 years ago. And my background is the insurance broking. Actually, it's not the business setup. So along the way, I was looking for referral partners when I was doing the insurance. One of the contact sphere that I was looking for was the business setup companies, because when you set up a company, you need to do insurance, and this is how it started my curiosity to learn more about the business. And then I found it so exciting. You meet all these business owners, all these mindset people, all influential entrepreneurs. They have money, they want to set up. And then this is how it started initially. Uh, and yeah, so this was initially at the beginning, it was a collaboration. And then after that, I set up my company here. So I still have my family in Lebanon. So they live in Lebanon, and I've been living in Dubai and moving between Dubai and Saudi Arabia, because Saudi, we're going to talk later about Saudi. I've been moving between Saudi and Dubai for the last 3 years.
Oh, very interesting, Tony. So did you come to the UAE in that insurance sector, or did you come like with a goal to set up your company immediately?
No, actually, I moved to UAE because of mostly the thing that triggered me to move to UAE is the insurance. I had some client, and initially the situation in Lebanon.
Mm.
So I started looking at that time, like different markets. I had some clients here with the insurance. So I came back here. I came here, actually. I moved to Dubai, and then I said, okay, let me start from scratch. Let me start building my portfolio here. The same as I built my portfolio in Lebanon. And then I built it on the community. The community that I have, the people that I know. So I built it on this to start building my portfolio in the insurance.
Mm-hmm. And then I think before we jump into the more questions about you, the founder of Vispire, do you want to just give a quick 45-second elevator pitch about what Vispire is and company formation, countries and services you focus on?
So Vispire is, I'm gonna define it. It's like we are not selling company setup. We are not selling licenses. So I'd rather describe it as like we are a consultant, and we'd like to have like specific clients. We work with specific clients. We just understand what their goals are, where they want to be in the next short term or long term. If they want to be just in Dubai or in the region, this is where we understand. Most important thing is that I focus a lot on building good relationships before selling the license.
And what regions do you focus on, and what type of customers do you typically help?
So usually I do all kind of we do all kind of industries. We deal with the major free zones, the mainland, but we are not expert in the financial licenses like DIFC licenses, the regulated one, or ADGM, or the foundation. So we are not expert yet. So we are in the process of doing a setup in DIFC. And once it's there, definitely I will let you know. It will be so exciting to learn more about that.
I believe, Tony, you actually started with a couple of co-founders as well. Is that right? Like same as Sam and I, we're not solo founders ourselves. I think you might have met through a networking event or something. I'd love to hear a bit more about that founder story that you guys share.
Yeah, so as I've mentioned initially, how I met this corporate service provider, and then I started doing collaboration with them. So initially, I used to work with them on referral fees, and then we got an arrangement. And these people, luckily, they liked me, and they introduced me to BNI, and this is where I met. I can call Sam actually the mentor, and because of him, honestly, I enjoyed BNI. I love BNI. So this is also these two co-founders with me. I've met them also in the same chapter, in the same network. Unfortunately, Sam left us after like few months. I had to take over his role as well, and so the two members we stayed there, and then after some time, maybe after 1 year, I was just always curious because these two people, they are my first referral partners. One of them is an accountant, one of them is an auditor. So I was like, they should refer me a lot. So I approached them, and then I spoke to them, and then I suggested a form of collaboration at that time. And we build that trust. We build this collaboration. They do something I don't do, I refer them. And this is the idea how it came when I decided to like just do my own setup. So I came to them. I told them, guys, so this is my idea. This is the structure that I suggest, and here we go.
Oh, brilliant. I know we Sam and I spoke about in a recent episode about some of those relationships that you can build up through these events, and if you go in with a good attitude and open-minded and so on, you can meet these long-term relationships like it
Absolutely.
seems like you're there.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I'd
So
love to
following
learn.
on from,
I'd love to learn a bit more about those early days for you, Tony. Like, did you go both feet in, as it were, at the start, or did you kind of have your first clients before you went full time on Vispire? Or what did those early days look like for you?
Yeah, look, initially, so when I decided to do my own setup, my own license at the Vispire. So initially, I had already built. I'm gonna say like trust good clients where I was like collaborating previously with the previous company, and I already built also a network. Dubai. There's a lot of networks happening, a lot of events, and then we are a big community. I already built this network, and to be honest with you, my background, the insurance background, it helped me a lot because I already had like a good network for that. Uh, yeah, so when we started, actually, I had clients. I had already clients, but instead of placing them and then doing the business with other people, I had clients. The business kept running because of the collaboration that we had, the partnership that we had. But definitely that was not the goal. So we worked on a long-term goals, on short-term goals, how we gonna move forward, because it's our business, and then things are different. And yeah,
over the years, that obviously a lot of learning, a lot of lessons, painful, and from the successes and failures as well. Was there ever a moment where you nearly walked away from the entire business? Like maybe a lesson that was so painful that you're like maybe given
No,
up, or you're always determined to grow the business, try everything on
uh,
it.
I guess we all know that nothing is difficult in life. Nothing is difficult. Yeah, there are tough moments definitely to start a new business, but you know what keep you moving forward is when you this is at least me when I wake up in the morning and then I say, okay, today what I'm gonna achieve. And the most important thing is that is to have goals, and then to work on these goals. So when you work on your goals, this is actually I learned to do this here in Dubai, not in Lebanon. I was not doing the same in Lebanon. So when you work on your goals, definitely you have bumps, something going up, something going down. You have difficulties, and then every day we have issues, we have problems. But these problems, this issue, you learn from them, and then you take it to another level. You take the business to another level. And the challenges, when you achieve something, when you achieve your goal, when you reach your goals, this is the best thing ever.
Think though from those lessons though, Tony, I've seen you and build your business though over the years because you're very open minded to continuously learning and then applying that to your business. So, congratulations to you for that.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. I guess, Sam, you know how I started here, how I came here. I mostly lost everything in Lebanon.
So,
So I came here with nothing, actually zero minus even. But yeah, thanks God for everything. Hard work pays off.
sometimes we do this through pain and suffering, right? Or through unfortunate situations we get into business. Is probably the pain, right? Humans, we love to avoid pain. So we start these things because of the pain that we've been suffering from. But from you, I can just see how much you've developed from employee to employer, and growing your own business from, again, a continuous learning, like you said.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
moving on to anything else that you want to add there, Damien, Tony?
I love what Tony's got to say about that. There's already some real nuggets of wisdom there, like leveraging your existing network when you're going in to set up a company. Like many kind of books when you're starting out will advise you to, look at your friends, family, and connections. Like Tony already went in to this company with some really strong UAE connections, so that. That they, I bet, were some of your very first clients as well. So, which is a foundation story of that is very, very common there. And of course, Tony, I don't know your background too much, but I find that inspirational. You come here, like quite some people do, coming to UAE looking to make something of your own, and you're well along that journey as well, mate. And I love that you're actually the listeners for this, those who are perhaps aspirational founders in the Gulf.
Yeah,
They can learn from your journey, but they can also potentially use your services, like setting up those organizations as well. So
absolutely, absolutely.
go ahead, Sam.
Yeah, look, we're going to get into more about some tips about through Tony about how to set up a business. But for now, we'd like to learn, moving on from Tony, the founder, to Vispire, his business. Like for someone that's never heard of Vispire, um, what would you say in a nutshell the problem that Vispire is solving in a single sentence?
Uh, Vispire in a single sentence is,
Like,
I mean,
what's the unique selling point, USP that Vispire is bringing to their customers?
look, so what I learned during these years of the business. So people come from outside the country or even inside the country, but mainly most people that they are coming outside the country, they want to expand to UAE or Saudi Arabia. They research a lot. They have friends, they have community friends, they have like friends from their own nationality. They hear from here, from there. And honestly, this is so confusing. And there are always, like, you see on the ads, like, set up your company for 5,900 dirhams, or like we all see all these ads. And people, they come to you, no, I saw this ad, and then they start sharing this with you. But this is not exactly what it looks like, you know. That we don't do that. We'll never do that. So the thing is that people, they want to listen to you. They are ready to listen to you if you explain to them. And the most important thing is to explain to them and then to guide them as per their goals, what they want to achieve. So this is mainly one, because people, they sometimes they go for cheaper options. They go for cheaper options, and then they go like, okay, let me set up my license in Sharjah, let's say. It's half of the price of setting up in Dubai. But people don't know that their visa comes from Sharjah, everything from Sharjah. The process is longer. To open a bank account is longer. And then at some point, they want to do some business with Dubai government or something like this. Oh, this license will not work. You have to do another license. So this is an additional cost, initially more than setting up initially in Dubai. So this is the most important thing. People, yeah, you know, on the media, on even ChatGPT, people, they sometimes they share with you like a text from ChatGPT and then the cost and everything. Yeah, but this is not. This is not.
It's in all sectors actually. Damon, so probably every other sector where there's usually two type of customers really, isn't it? There's like the price sensitive ones that are just looking for the cheapest deal. They're not really too interested in the quality of service. And then the other ones that just want that nice hand-holding service and supplier and partner, like you said, we're more of a consultancy service than anything else.
Yeah. So mainly, what we do, what we focus is to help them with the right setup, with the right structure, and then leave people, founders, to focus on the business without getting burned. You know, with the process, with everything.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. No, I'm super interested about this next question, which was like one of the most common mistakes founders make when setting up a UA. I can't wait to hear one of the most common ones.
Yeah. I mean, we talk about the jurisdiction first of all. You know, people sometimes they choose like cheap jurisdictions. Uh, so they choose free zone maybe over a mainland. You know, some activities you cannot operate them. You cannot operate them in a free zone. You have to operate them from a mainland. Sometimes when you set up in a free zone and then you want to hire 8, 10 people, this is going to be more expensive to you, more hassle because you have to take an office. You are mandatory to take an office. So there's a lot of things. Again, this is also depends on where founders want to be in 1 year or 2 years or 3 years. They wanna stay in UAE. They wanna expand. What is their goal? What kind of activities? And the most important thing also, I'm just talking now about UAE. I'm not talking about Saudi because Saudi is a bit different. The most important thing, people or like advisors, they forget to tell about the founders that the bank account for some reason in UAE takes a lot of time to set up a bank account. Depends on the activity, depends on the nationality. But minimum you need like 2, 3 weeks to set up a bank account because some people they want their license. Okay, I can set up a license in 2 days in a free zone. I can get this set up in 2 days. But to open a bank account, you need 2, 3 days. And then they are expecting a transfer, a transaction, to invoice, to do something, you know. So that's why we always advise them when initially they come to us. We tell them about all the process or the timeline. When do you expect to start doing the business? So it's better to get your license from now because, like they say, some people say, okay, I don't want to set up the license now. I'll set it up after 2 months. No, but you need to set up to open the bank account. You need this time, you know. So yeah, bank account is a bit critical. And then the visa, I also spoke about the visa. So if you want, it depends how many people you want to hire, what they will be doing.
And I kind of thought you might say that. And I'm pleased to hear like that's the most common mistake because like quick personal story with our company, we did the exact same thing when we firstly set up, right? When we just went through it is complicated for someone like myself who's not an expert like you about the how many free zones and different how many are there in UAE actually just of interest? Must be like thousands and thousands.
There's there's like, I don't know, maybe 60, 70 free zone. I mean,
Okay.
we work
Wow.
with like 5, 6 free zones in Dubai. two in Ashman, two in Sharjah. It's a lot. It's chaotic. It's so confusing and it's competitive. Yeah, it's I don't know. It's so chaotic.
But like you said, think putting the founder in my shoes when I started, which is the exact same shoe. Which of the 60 do I choose from? Unless I'm getting some support from someone like Tony who knows these 60. And we just went with we went with the free zone, which was cheap probably. And then it gets very expensive because we make that mistake, right? Like, because we've got no consultancy. Of course, they're going to take our money because we went with one of the 60 guys, right? But then a few years later, when you had to go to mainland, it's a very expensive and time-consuming process to close that company down.
Exactly.
Company, just for all the new founders and startups out there, please, please, please don't make that mistake because you have to cancel all the visas, apply for new visas, all the stuff, and
Absolutely.
open up the bank account, open up the new bank. It was very expensive.
Audit report, liquidation. Damien, anyone can go to any free zone or to the mainland or anywhere alone. You as Damien or Sam. In UAE, I'm talking. Saudi is different. You can go to any free zone and tell them, I want to start my business. I'm going to do this activity. They will issue the license for you. And then you don't have to pay fees for anyone. But why we charge our fees? For the advice that we give, for the experience that we have.
Doesn't come for free.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a recent experience. Like we were working with a government entity in Abu Dhabi, and through our normal main company, and then we were told that we needed an Abu Dhabi company. And so unfortunately, I didn't know you then, Tony, but I was like, okay, well, how do I got to set up a company in Abu Dhabi? And then we did that. Okay. And then we needed like an onshore license as well. And like that. And the policies and regulations are changing very quickly. And so it delayed everything because we had one company and then we had to get it set up on the mainland and then we had to get the bank account, like you said. And so
Absolutely.
all of that delayed the contracting, the invoicing, and meanwhile the client's like, "Come on, we want to use your business." So I can only reinforce what you're saying there. You really have to go in up front, knowing what you need to set up with a bit of a long-term plan ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. But if I mean, sometimes like you do a setup, you have a goal, you have a plan, and then something come along the way. So this is something different, yeah. But I mean, if something coming for the good, it's gonna be for the good, hopefully, yeah. But we try as much as possible to understand the long-term goals and then short-term goals, and then we can advise accordingly.
But
Yes.
talking about, let's focus still on the UAE, and then maybe we want to broaden across the other GCC countries. But what have you seen us change most about your sector, across this landscape within the UAE?
So look, since I came here, I started this. Since I started this working in this industry, in this business, like first of all, the free zones. We used not to have like this number of free zones. And then we all remember previously. You used to need in the mainland. You need the local agent. You need a Saudi national, or you need an agent to do the business. So all these shifts have changed, and then even setup costs have changed a lot because of all the free zones that's coming. But on the other hand, let's say on the mainland also, you used to be able to combine couple of activities together. Now it's not the case. For each activity, you need to get a license. It's becoming more difficult from this way. I see it not more difficult. I see it more regulated on the mainland. On the free zone, yeah, I think like some regulations need to be there because anyone can come. It doesn't have to be a corporate service provider. Can go to the free zone, register as a partner, and then start selling their services, their businesses, their licenses. Yeah, so this is mainly what have changed the prices and
I think there's one that's changed as well, very honestly, just to be controversial. Like, looking at your industry, right? Like, it's a fantastic, UAE is an amazing country to be setting up because there are so many options. But, like, maybe your services today are more needed than ever before, because there are so many options, right? Not just free zones,
Absolutely.
but in each emirate. But then also for the visas, right? Like we've got golden visa, and we've got so many amazing visas to choose from. New sort of like companies like the COVID situation created all this new opportunity for individuals and making life easier to come over here. So like how do you navigate that?
So, I mean, I think at some point when most of our clients are referral clients, so they come with some part of trust. So when you suggest for them, like there are some free zones that they are like, so if we are talking Dubai, let's say Dubai compared to other Emirates. So Dubai is the easiest to set up a bank account, to set up a license. It's easier, nationality, activity wise, everything. So when they come to you and then they ask for advice, they come with a mindset that this is the right person that I'm coming to. I'm referred from X, Y, Z, our referral partners. So, and then we look definitely what they want to achieve. And then we advise them about, mainly preferably, we advise about Dubai mainly, unless you are setting up an industrial firm. You need Ras Al Khaimah, you need Fujairah, if you need a port. It depends on the location as well. It depends on what they want to achieve, how they want to do. Logistic is different. Maybe we go to Jafza. So it depends on this. And then for the visa as well, like you mentioned, the visa. This is also something that have changed. We had no golden visa previously. Now a lot of categories have been introduced. Even this is something we advise founders when they set up their license. We tell them, like, you do an employment contract, you transfer a salary after 6 months, after 2 years, you get your visa, you invest here, you get your visa here, you get your golden visa. So this is also one of the things. Also, we make sure that we advise the client on these new changes, new regulation, what they can benefit them, what make their life easier.
I've got like so many cool questions coming up from this conversation, but I don't know. I don't want to take over. Dan, what about yourself?
Well, I mean, we've
So,
focused a lot on the UAE so far. I'd love to hear Tony's impressions on Saudi as well, because I mean, we were looking at various options to enter the Saudi market a few years ago, and I got to say, I walked away probably more confused than anything, and it, it did seem like that we just talked about the UAE, the policies and regulations changed quite a lot, but I think it's even more so in Saudi. At least that was my impression. So, Tony, I'd love to hear your thoughts on what it's like now setting up companies in Saudi Arabia. Is it similar complexity as the UAE? Is it more simple than it was a few years ago? How's that landscape now?
yeah, so Saudi is a bit different. It's the process is more complex, definitely. Saudi is not like UAE. Now we know, like in UAE, you can set up a license even without coming to the country, whether on a free zone, whether and then you can get the license in 2 3 days. You can get your license, and then individual you can come as Sam or Damien, own 100% of a company and set up. Whereas Saudi Arabia is different. They have the Ministry of Investment that regulate the entry to the market in terms of the background of the company. So to set up in Saudi Arabia, you can own 100% of the company as an expat in most of the activities, but you need an existing entity, at least 1 year entity, 1 year business license, operating license in anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world. And then this company, the mother company, will own the company in Saudi Arabia. So in order to do this, you need commercial document. The commercial document, they need to be attested. They need to do all this process to set up, to be able to expand, to present your documents to the MISA, to the Ministry of Investment. And MISA, the other thing they look for it, which is the very important thing, I think, to regulate the market. Because we see a lot of companies, we set up a lot of companies. The second year, they don't want to renew because they did not have a proper plan. Whereas in Saudi Arabia, Ministry of Investment will look first initially at the 12-month financial audit report. So they will say, okay, this company, they have been doing business. This company will be able to sustain in Saudi Arabia. So accordingly, they give the approval to issue the license to move from Ministry of Investment to Ministry of Commerce. This is one. The second challenge is the Saudization. Saudization is a bit stricter here. You know, like for each Saudi, you will have 3 expat, not more than that. And previously, again, the market regulation is so vibrant, it's changing very quickly. So previously, I'm talking 5-6 months ago, if you get your license, and then after you get the license, in order to hire the manager to bring him to Saudi and get him the Iqama, you need to hire a Saudi, any kind of Saudi, to open the labor file. Now they changed this as per what they saw in the market. They changed this. They give you 6 months, so you can get the manager visa, and then after 6 months you have to hire a Saudi. You don't have any option. Each Saudi will give you three expat. This is, we're talking about the service license. So in Saudi as well, you have different kind of license. We have service license, industrial license, trading. You have professional license. Professional license, still you need a Saudi local, a Saudi national, not even a GCC. Professional like accounting, bookkeeping, auditing, like architect, like HR. So you need a Saudi. Trading, you still need 3 global branches. You need 30 million capital. So it's a bit challenging for this. And the setup, the timeline. The timeline usually takes sometimes 2 weeks, sometimes 3 weeks to get the CR. It depends on the name availability. The process is a bit different, and we can also, because we have our office in Saudi Arabia, so my partner is there, we have our team is there. So what we do to help people expand, we help with all the setup initially, from the document attestation, from the advice, activities, everything the same. We help, we do all the things, all the process, and then we tell them to give us a power of attorney. So we are able to do everything for them until the bank account. So even we can open the bank account for them until we get the GM, and then we give him again the power.
I
So
have like one little follow-up question from this comparison of Saudi and UAE setup, mainly because we're working with, well, this podcast is for startups. This podcast is also for tech founders and startups as well. Like, are you seeing, if they're looking at opening up in Saudi, are you looking like Saudi is getting easier to set up? Obviously, like, it would be nice if it's quick and easy as it is in UAE, but that's going to take some time to get to that stage. So what do you think? Do you see it getting easier year after year, better, smoother, quicker, cheaper in Saudi? Or what time frame do you think it will be until it gets to sort of the UAE stage?
yeah, absolutely, it's getting cheaper. It is cheaper. Now, let's say in Saudi Arabia, they are not charging anything to get the CR, the commercial register. So you can get your license without paying anything, just zero. It's not a rule, but they are not charging anything, because previously they were charging 12, 13,000, and then the renewal fee was 62,000. So that they waived this since almost 1 year. That was a big change. This is initially the first thing. It's getting easier definitely when they give you the option to get your Iqama before you hire, because if you set up your license and then you want to hire a Saudi, how are you gonna hire someone you don't have an Iqama yet? You need to see, I want to hire someone, senior one, junior level, just a shadow one, So definitely the process is getting faster, and I think they are learning from the market. They are learning from the demand. They are learning how Dubai is operating. We have to always remember that Dubai is the best place to set up it's always going to be, I mean, at the moment, I'm saying it's always going to be like the base to start with, and then with a lot of experience, it took them like 30, 40 years to reach where we are now, all this. But definitely Saudi is getting there.
I'm wondering, Tony, like, are there other markets in the UAE, or sorry, in the Middle East, that people are interested in entering as well? So we talked a lot about UAE, of course, that's been on the map for a long time. Saudi, everyone's very, very interested in entering the Saudi market. Are people also looking at other markets like Kuwait, Bahrain, Qatar, and so on?
Yeah, so mainly people, especially now, to be honest with you, after now, what's happening now is people are looking a lot to Oman. So the demand increased a lot to Oman. But it depends what you are looking for. I can always say that I have a lot of European clients. They always want to come first, set up in Dubai, and from Dubai, expand to other countries in the region. If you're going to say Saudi, people don't look at the convenience of living in Saudi, the lifestyle of living in Saudi. Nothing like Dubai, but they look at the business, the total number of the business you can get from Saudi. Oman, in my opinion, I mean, we start getting a lot of inquiries for Oman. In my opinion, it's gonna be more and more inquiries for Oman. People look at it more. The setup is easy. It's not that difficult in Oman. But the market is smaller, definitely, compared to Saudi, 35 million, compared to Dubai. I think this is the next country people will look at it.
What do you think is driving that interest in Oman? Is it
Yes.
there's a growth there, or is it favorable tax? It sounds like it's easier to set up, but I'm wondering
It's
what is driving that interest?
no, I mean it's not easier to set up in terms of setting up the license, getting the license. They have the tax, and then they are introducing also the tax in 2027, another tax in 2027. But maybe it's a lucrative market. It's still like if you look at Dubai, there's a lot of competition from all industries, from everywhere. Like people, they are still seeing it a lucrative market. To be honest with you, as Vispire, we don't have our own setup in Oman, but this is something we are looking at now. So I'm still working with some referral partners. So I get some inquiries, I refer them. Like these partners refer to Saudi to me. But this is something we will be looking at if it's something good to do. So we might be having also our setup in Oman.
Following from that question, we're looking at the different markets. We've discussed them. You've talked about some of the type of customers that you're working with or the nationalities that you're working with. Well, I'm interested about what sectors are you seeing that Vispire is working with, or particularly one of the most popular sectors that companies are coming to the Middle East to set up. And keep in mind, also we're focusing on tech with this pod, so it'd be great to hear also like what volumes of tech companies you're seeing that are setting up in Dubai and Middle East.
Yeah, I mean, definitely tech companies, all kind of service, marketing companies, AI companies, real estate in Dubai. I mean, you can't imagine the number of real estate brokers that we have done last year. Trading, I'm gonna say trading mostly in Saudi Arabia because they have. So if you set up trading in Saudi and trading in Dubai as well, manufacturing in Saudi because it's a huge market, and then Saudi government is supporting a lot with budgets, with incentive, with Iqama, with everything. So this is mainly the things, accounting, all the.
What normally, when you're talking about tech companies and software companies, e-commerce companies, like if you're going to put a number on it, like a percentage or a figure, what would you say?
Percentage,
Yeah, average.
maybe around 70%.
70.
Yeah, 70. Like it's easy. I mean, it's easy to set up these companies.
Wow.
It's
And
so easy to.
Like, is there
Oh,
any particular licenses that there's e-commerce licenses today as well, I imagine.
Yeah, this is actually the most common license that we are selling, e-commerce.
That's crazy.
So anyone have an idea or have a product doing this doing this business outside UAE, and then he wants to come, he just set up a website, a platform, and then start selling this. Just get a license, and then business runs.
there's been a lot of focus on AI naturally lately, and that's of course the flavor of, I wouldn't say the month or the year, but the last few years, and a lot of initiative from both the UAE and Saudi governments, pushing these areas. Lots of partnerships, lots of exciting kind of initiatives, local language models, and everything. Has the regulatory framework around setting up those kind of companies, have they made that easier as well? Like we just talked about e-commerce, that's perhaps the most popular, but are there like frameworks specifically for AI focused companies as well?
Look, definitely there's a regulation about this, but this is AI, just AI. Like, we use AI in many things, in multiple businesses. So we have AI in many industries. So just to set up an AI, it's an easy license. It's just a normal license. I even did one in Saudi Arabia also. It's just a simple license to
Nothing.
set it up.
There's no like extra regulation or cost to set up an.
No. The only regulations that you need, like difficult regulations, which if we are talking about financial setups like NDFC, ADGM, or if we are talking about crypto, they have different regulations. Also, crypto, we don't do it. We don't have the full knowledge about it, so we also outsource it to someone. You have the VARA, which is the authority that regulate the crypto or all digital asset or everything like this.
It sounds like what you already mentioned there. It sounds like the UAE and perhaps specifically Dubai is still the best place to set up in the region. Do you see a timeline when that is no longer the case? Do you feel like Oman or Saudi or some other market is going to come in and be the best place for founders to set up in the region?
Uh, I think I think it's gonna be always, because the UAE it's always ahead of the other regions. But like I mentioned before, it's not just Dubai, the name of Dubai. It's a brand. It's a worldwide brand, definitely. It's like Riyadh. It's like Saudi Arabia is becoming a worldwide brand. But the lifestyle you live here, the network, the connection that you make here, at the moment, you cannot find all this network, all these connections anywhere, not in Oman, not in Riyadh. And I think in all industries, all businesses, if you want to get business, you need to network. You need to have referral partners. You need to go here. You need to have all this set up. And I know that I don't know. Again, I don't know a lot about Oman. I hope in the next podcast I'll have more details. I'll be there. I'll be visited Oman. I'll see what is about. But what I know about Saudi is evolving a lot. So I'm part of a business network. We are around 1,300 Lebanese people. Most of us, we have business owners. We are business owners. So this is also when we set up a license in Saudi and Riyadh, we help founders to connect to our network. We help them with everything. Even they kickstart their business. Sometimes they have requirement even before we finish the setup. So at this stage. So Saudi is still in the process. They don't have I'm not going to say the infrastructure. They don't have the hotels, the restaurants, the networking events that's happening here. So I think at the moment, I'm not able to give you when this is going to change, but definitely I see Riyadh is coming next. Saudi Arabia is coming next. And then definitely the best place to set up. If you are talking, it depends again on your budget, what you're gonna do, your goals. If you are setting up a manufacturing, you have a huge manufacturing process, and then you want to reach a bigger population, you have the money, the best place to be Saudi Arabia. So a lot of criterias we have to take in consideration.
If I could just reinforce one element there. Sorry, Sam. It's I lived in Saudi in Riyadh from 2007 to 2009, and then I didn't go back until late 2021, I think. And I mean that's over a decade, but the amount of change, I mean, in that period was phenomenal. But even when I go back kind of periodically now, I mean, Riyadh is just like it's reinventing itself all the time. You know, Riyadh
Absolutely.
season, like
Absolutely.
new dining districts, and like it is the evolution of that play is just breakneck speed. It's quite incredible to watch.
I love it. I love it. So next time you're gonna be there, let me know. I'll
I
make
will
sure
do.
I'll be there, and then we'll ask Sam to join. So just to add one thing about Saudi. So it's not like Dubai. So people think like I want to set up in Dubai because most of the people they come, they set up in Dubai and then they live outside. They bring the business, they do the operation. Riyadh is different. Saudi is different in most of the sectors. You have to be present. People like to see you to give you business, to get real business. Saudi people, you see them everywhere. You see them in a taxi, you see them at the barista, you see them everywhere. They like people, they like to see people. And they have maybe a little bit, their culture is a little bit different. So you need to understand this because this is something also we look at it before we advise people to expand to Riyadh. I look at their plan. Do you have a pipeline? How are you gonna plan? How are you gonna pay your fee? How are you gonna pay? Like it's the year. It's just until you do the setup, you hire someone. Like 2 months has gone. The renewal will come. So this is something very important also, where we also advise some people. I tell them, I mean, in my opinion, you are not ready to go. You're gonna spend money. And now the process is, like I mentioned, the process of setup is a bit quicker. So sometimes people, they feel like I'm going to win a contract. Let's say Sam, he's going to win a contract in the next 1 month. So now it's the right time. Yeah, we can start the setup now.
I think for, like you're saying, 70% of e-com founders are coming to Dubai and UAE. But I think that, from my perspective of Saudi, like the appetite of e-commerce is there, because we work with, particularly the Saudi e-commerce founders, right? Like, so I think when Tony's talking to Europeans and people abroad, founders from abroad, they are coming to probably Dubai because it's more friendly and faster and most importantly, way cheaper at the moment. But what we're seeing is the ecosystem of entrepreneurship and tech predominantly is here, but it's also happening in Saudi. But I think we're seeing a lot more appetite for Saudi founders in Saudi to start up tech at the moment. So I think it's
So
okay.
it is changing. You always have to find solution. Coming back to the e-commerce. So in Saudi, e-commerce, it's considered trading. Trading, there's a rule you have to apply. Three global branches, 30 million capital. So this is the rule. So how we solve this? We have partners in Saudi. They have trading companies. So whenever we have an e-commerce, they want to sell their product in Riyadh. They manage their website, they manage their platform and everything. And then we connect them to our partners. They sell through their fulfillment facilities. They sell through their registration with all the platforms. So, you always have to help find a solution, I think, for people to scale. And then sometimes we advise people to do the same until they discover the market. Is it a good market? So it's the right time now. So now after 1 year, I'm okay. I can do my own setup.
Do you feel like too many founders are just staying in their comfort zone still in the UAE? Like, are people still, no, I guess, nervous to expand into Saudi, or do you feel like that attitude is shifting?
No, I think Dubai till now, Dubai is still a comfort zone for newcomers to again. Sometimes they have the restriction that they don't have an existing business, so they cannot go straight to Riyadh. So they have to set up a business to do the process. But I think the easier again to set up is very easier to set up in Dubai, and they want to come here, and again the ecosystem is different. You know, you have all the connections, and then who I mean, everyone have a network in Dubai, even if he's living outside. Everyone from around the globe, they have people they know, they have network, they have friends, they have family members maybe. So this is also like something to start with.
We've been focusing on startups, but very honestly, again, this is not nothing new, but e-commerce companies, they start in Dubai traditionally. They grow their business, find their audience and perfect the e-commerce sales and company. And then what we're seeing is they expand regionally. So you're seeing probably more of that of a process of growth and expansion.
Absolutely. This is I mean, this is the logic actually, because again, Saudi is, again, you cannot, it's very difficult to have your setup even in Saudi and then you don't have a team there. If you don't have a team, you did not do anything. Unless you have deals already, you know, so you do the setup, you have the team. So let's say I'm going to give you an example. So now it's a referral actually from BNI. They do kitchen equipment, stainless steel kitchen equipment. So they are into manufacturing. They already have deals, but they invoice under someone else. So now I'm doing their setup as marketing. So they, in order for them to understand more, to build this network in Saudi, instead of setting up a facility, because you have to rent the facility, you have to buy the equipment, there's a lot of cost involved. So they are doing the marketing now. We're setting up a company for them. They can just invoice for consultancy. They use this marketing. They have a presence. They have their name in Saudi Arabia. They start building their name. After 6 months, 1 year, we see how the process will go, and then they can go into the manufacturing. The good thing about Saudi Arabia, by the way, you can mix many activities on the same license. So you can combine trading, you can combine manufacturing, you can combine service on the same license. But definitely it reflects on the Saudization quota.
What about that following on from the cost? Like, do you see any hidden costs that founders aren't aware of, or it's not common knowledge, either through the startup or the renewal of that? And this could be for UAE,
Uh,
Saudi, Oman, too.
so hidden cost, like I mentioned to you, when you see all these ads on on Instagram, on social media, or wherever, or when someone trying to sell a license, so they just tell you the cost of the license. So this is the cost of the license. Sometimes they don't tell you the renewal, because you have to renew. Sometimes in some jurisdictions you need an audit report. You need to register for corporate tax. At some point, when you reach a threshold of 375, you need to register for a VAT. This is also additional cost. Visa, cost of the visa, cost of the insurance. So this is also, in my opinion, it's a hidden cost. So when you add,
For the renewal of that visa, for the renewal of trade license, is significantly
Yeah, wow.
higher.
exactly. So this scenario applies here, and then in Riyadh, you know, you want to rent an office, you need a virtual ijari. So this is also something you need to inform founders about that, so they can plan accordingly, because they will struggle, you will struggle. Uh, you did not. I mean, our role is to advise them, you know. So this is what we put in our proposal, actually, in our initial discussion. So you tell them about all this process, and then all this cost. And then you need an accountant, you need an auditor, this is all additional cost, you know. You need an office, many things. You need insurance for the staff, it's mandatory. So,
Yeah, a lot of things to consider
yeah,
there.
yeah, absolutely.
I got a
Absolutely.
tough question for you, Tony. Now, knowing what you know now, after your, many years here in the region and helping, countless companies set up, if I was to give you $1 million, Tony, and say, right, you're gonna set up a company, but you have to pick UAE or Saudi, which market would you pick?
Uh, Again, it's a tough question. Yeah, I agree. It's a tough question. Again, it depends on the business. It depends on the business that you'll be doing. But in my opinion, like I mentioned to you, if you have already in manufacturing, you are doing manufacturing somewhere, industrial, and then you have like a product, let's say this kitchen equipment, because Saudi, there's a lot of demand, a lot of hotels are coming. So yeah, definitely, I'll tell you Saudi Arabia, 35 million. And the plan is to be, their vision 2030 is to be 50 million population. A lot of hotels being built, so this is an example. But again, it's not $1 million. It's not like we used to think, it's not that amount if you don't have a proper planning. Or else to start, if you have $1 million, you can start a good business. You can sustain in Dubai as well. Again, it depends on what you will be doing, what's your goal, what's your plan. Uh, so it's not a general. It cannot be like it's subjective a little bit.
Yeah, of course. There's never a simple answer when it comes to, setting up a company. Is there?
Yeah, but we love Saudi. I think we love Dubai, and then we love Saudi. And yeah, so I see myself not less than 10 years in both countries.
Tell
That's
us
a
more
great
about that.
segue, Sam.
Yeah.
I'll let you take the last question, mate. Forward-looking one. You
Yeah.
opened the door for us, Tony. So, Sam, what would you?
Perfect segue, Tony. Like, we want to finish off with looking forward in the future for you as Vispire and also the region as well. Companies of all shapes and sizes and startups and long term. How do you see yourself? Where do you see Vispire in the next 10 years helping Middle Eastern companies?
Look, I'm excited, and then I think we are lucky that we are growing as Vispire. We are growing with the shift because the shift is very quick, even in UAE. Although a lot of things have changed, and Saudi. So I am so excited about the shift, how it's going, how it's happening, specifically in Saudi, and I can say we are part of the shift, and. And the thing is that what we are looking at in the not that long term, we are looking at a full fledged. I mean, some services we provide in house, some services we outsource. But as per my experience for the last years, founders, specifically clients, founders coming from outside, they want to talk to someone they trust, and then they want to have a full service for multiple reasons. They want to get someone they trust because it's difficult to build this trust with one vendor, another vendor, another vendor. And I see Vispire. I see Vispire. I don't have like a proper vision for 5 years, but I know where Vispire is gonna be in 5 years. It's gonna be. We are building. I mean, I know I'm gonna build a legacy in the region. I'm 100% sure. And the most important thing, like I mentioned initially, previously, is the most important thing about all this is to build like a personal relationship. So this personal relationship is very initial to sustain your business. Again, like we are not here to sell. We are here to advise, and then we look to support and then to help people with their success. So I want to make sure that you come to me, you set up your license today, UAE or Saudi Arabia. After 1 year, you'll call me for anything, not just only for the business setup. You'll call me, you know that you can call me for my network, to access my network. You call me for your setup. You call me to refer your friends, your partner, your family members. So this is how I see Vispire. I see it more like uh, in person, one to one relationship. And then I guess this is what sustain a business.
There's always going to be customers that want that, right? Like what we started with this conversation. I think it's a perfect way to end it as well. there's such demand in this region. It's complex in a way to go through and navigate how to set up a company over here. Many countries and also free zones and jurisdictions
Absolutely, absolutely.
and people want that hand holding. So I can totally see there's always going to be a need for companies like this.
Yeah, yeah. Then we are always learning, you know. It's a non-stop learning process. Learning, because like you have to unlearn few things and then you have to learn again. And I always tell my clients if they ask me about something I don't know, like someone came to me, they want to set up a rabbit farm in Saudi Arabia. I've never done this, you know, so I don't know the process. I'll get back to you. So it's always like, you know, to be straightforward. Yeah,
And
there's a lot.
like not just your learnings from new sectors, but actually I caught up with Tony 2 years later after we investigated Saudi, simply just because of the regulation changes. Right? Like you said, you need to learn and then learn new. Kind of like legal insurance evolving so quickly here. It's not like
Exactly.
yeah.
So you give a proposal, let's say today in Saudi. After 2 weeks before, I mean, they confirm to you. Just have to tell them like, let me just confirm that nothing have changed. You know, Saudi is so changing very quickly. For the
Great.
best,
I
for
mean,
the best, for the easier. Yeah.
well, thanks so much, Tony. I've learned a lot in this conversation as well.
Oh,
Of course, we hope that other golf founders may be listening to this. They will get something out of the conversation, and they know someone that they can trust now that can support them in their, the company setup. Thanks so much, Tony. I really enjoyed learning more about yourself, learning more about Vispire, and yeah, looking forward to getting some more insights over the years, mate.
thank you, Damon. Thank you so much for having me. I really also appreciate, and then I liked a lot the conversation, and then we can go 1 or 2 hours more, I think.
Quite easy. But yeah, thank you so much, Tony, for all your insights and sharing all of your industry knowledge, valuable information. So we will share your details in our podcast notes as well. And thank you once again.
Thank you, Sam. See you very soon. Thank you so much, guys. All right. Cheers. Bye. See you.
Subscribe for more stories from the Gulf.